Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how I use the NYX Conceal, Correct and Contour palette that I got in the recent Bella box. So yeah, I'm going to run through how I use this, all the steps I do to basically do my base. I come on screen with my foundation done. I forgot to film an intro, so I am filming that now as well. Anyway, I hope you guys will enjoy this, so let's get into it. Alright, I'm going to show you how I cream contour with this palette here. It's the NYX Sculpt Conceal, Correct Contour palette in light. So I have my base on. I just used a Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and that is all I've got on, like, and my primer. And then going into this deep shade. Automatically you go, that's too dark, but it's actually not. And I just do about like that. So this here, so you'll find your bone, you do just under it. And you get like a buffy brush like this, nice and dense. And then brush it back into the hairline and up. You never want to brush down because it'll make you look like you've got saggy cheeks, and that's not what we want. You can brush down this way and then just buff. And as you can see, it gives a really, especially straight on, that's what you want. And you just, if you want to just deepen that up a little bit, just add a little bit more product. Go in with a light hand if you're not used to it. And there we go. So we do the same on the other side. So just getting it on the brush. And you only do a little bit like to that because you blend it down that way. And again, let's blending it into the base. See? You don't want to blend it down, you want that to be a nice cut. And blend up. So blending up. And you've got that nice blended contour. I also recommend, if you want contouring, I haven't put any extra on this brush, it's just the leftovers, just contouring the forehead. It makes it look a little bit smaller, so you just kind of like that. There's not a whole lot of product there, and this product is actually really easy to blend out. So blend it back into the hairline. It gives your face a kind of a lift. It also shortens the forehead. If you have a small forehead, don't worry about that. And don't worry if you think it looks slightly patchy at the moment, because when you powder, it'll be fine. And once you set it all down, it'll be all good. Have a hair. And then you can contour your nose. I can't say I'm very good at this. So I'm just lightly, like you can barely see where I've gone. But always connect it up, because otherwise it just looks like you've got a floating nose. So I'm just looking in the mirror. And just always do a little bit under the nose here. So it pulls my nose up a little bit. And buff that out. Because obviously you don't want any harsh lines. That's the last thing you want. And there's like nothing on the brush. It doesn't really come off on the brush or anything like that. So, hair in my eye. And if you want, if you've got a double chin like I do, just a little bit here and up. So you can just see it when you are sitting with a neutral face. so you can still see that, and then buffing that in. So this will create a shadow. To the point that it makes you look a bit more slim in the face here. Now we've only really used that shade there in this palette. If you want to use the other shades, this is what I would do. So the peachy shade is really good for dark circles. So before you would conceal under your eyes, use a little bit of this shade. And this is all before you have any powder on your face. And it just brightens. So it just brightens that whole section up. And any other dark bits you have. So if you were a bit dark around your mouth, or if you've got some blemishes that are actually quite dark, you could use that on them. So just like here. Like that. And the next thing I would recommend, there is a yellow shade, so if you have a bit more like reddy dark undertones, that one there would be the key. I really don't, so it's going to be hard for me to show. But the other thing I would do is with this palette, I would use the light shade here with kind of a flat brush, and this will highlight under your eyes. Just going back in. So, and I always go straight down the side of my nose with a light shade like this, because it helps with that contour of the nose, if that's what you wanted, if you did do that. And also I would go into, say, this next shade here, which is probably the same as my skin tone, straight down the middle of my nose, like that. So it snatches my nose in, and then just anywhere else I want a bit of extra coverage, because this is just now your concealer, because it's the closest colour to your skin tone. So obviously you pick it appropriately to your skin tone, but like that. And then I go in with a damp beauty sponge just to help blend that all in, so it looks all seamless and there's no harsh lines. And so you can see, and obviously I'll show you as well, is that when you powder, so your setting powder, if you use it, or any kind of powder, I'm just using a Too Faced one that I have because it's just one handy, and just put a little bit, if it's loose powder you put it a little bit into the lid. I use a nice fluffy brush, and then it doesn't matter where you go with this because it's translucent. If you're using a foundation powder, I would try not to go over your contour too much. This just locks it all in place. Because then the skin isn't tacky. And so then you would go in with your bronzer, your blush, yeah, so I'll just use this palette. So I would then go in with a bronzer and use like this kind of brush, go into that and just to bronze that up. So I'm not contouring anymore, I'm just bronzing and then going up over there. It's just to keep that alive. And obviously you don't blend that down again. And then blush. And this will bring the look together now. So like that. And just because we're basically here already, I'll do a little highlighter just from the same palette. So highlighter, I just chuck here. And there. And anything I have left over from my brush, I just go like this. Nothing too crazy, but it highlights that there, and it also accentuates the fact that you've contoured your forehead, so it like shortens that again for you. And there we are. That's how I kind of do all my base products. Obviously apart from my foundation. Hopefully that was helpful to some sort. So that is how I use the NYX Conceal, Correct and Contour palette in the shade Light. I hope you've enjoyed this and gotten a few tips, or I don't know, something. I hope you've gotten something out of it. Anyway, I hope you're all having an amazing day. Please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed. And yeah, I guess I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.